Breaking news this morning, we are about to hear live from former Bremerton football coach Joe Kennedy. Less than 2 hours now after the U.S. Supreme Court ruled in his favor, saying he should be allowed to pray on the football fields after games. Coach Kennedy said he routinely offered prayers after games at midfield and never asked kids to pray, but after the district found out what was happening, they asked him to stop. He eventually lost his job. The case pitted concerns about separations of church and state with free speech and religious freedom. Ultimately, today, the nation's highest court ruled in Coach Kennedy's favor in a 6-3 decision on ideological lines. Justice Gorsuch, in the opinion, said Kennedy's prayer was protected by his First Amendment right to free speech and religion. Justice Sotomayor authored the dissent. Joining us live this morning is Joe Kennedy with his attorney at his side, Jeremy Dice. Coach Kennedy, thanks for joining us this morning. First, your reaction to this ruling.
You know, I'm still in shock. I'm just so grateful that this long, hard fought is finally over and we won. And thank God and everybody that supported me throughout this. I mean, it's just great news for the entire nation.
Now that a precedent appears to be set, the justices, ruling on prayer in school, how should school districts, in your view, handle these situations, given the sort of situation you've been through?
Wow, I hope they have good representation. So my lawyer would be the perfect guy to answer that question.
Now, look, school districts, what the Supreme Court said today is that school districts just simply need to keep in mind that the First Amendment protects the right of private individuals to offer private acts of religious activity of some sort. They don't need to go out and stamp out religion on their campuses if it's some sort of virus that's going to get out of control. Instead, what the justices said this morning is that even public school coaches and public school teachers and all employees across the country are entitled to the protections of the First Amendment, even when they walk through those schoolhouse gates. That's extremely important. And this decision today is going to resound in benefit to those teachers and coaches across the nation for decades to come. And that's a great thing for American freedom.
Why, Coach, not pray in a private place as the district had offered?
There was a whole lot that went behind that. And one of the things that they offered was for me to, absolutely leave the field and leave my team. And that just, so, what kind of message does that send, that I should hide who I am and my beliefs? Bremerton is one of the most diverse schools and inclusive schools around. And, everybody should be, free to be themselves, no matter what it is.
Do you acknowledge how this may have been pressure for other kids to participate, even if they have different religious beliefs?
No, not at all. And that was the great thing about our team. When you're that close to such a community, you know the kids, you know the parents, and that was never the case. And it would never be the case. Telling somebody they need to do it is just as bad as telling them that they can't do it.
Yeah, and what Justice Gorsuch said today is that the only discrimination that occurred on this football field was the school district of Bremerton School District. They're the only ones that engage in discrimination by stamping out religious activity where they had no right to trod. And so if anyone is to blame for the 6 years of litigation that has occurred here, it's not Coach Kennedy, it's Bremerton School District and the attorneys that tried to foist an ideological agenda that simply has no bearing in the First Amendment.
Joe, I'm curious, would you want your job back?
Yeah, that's what only thing I ask for is just, if I ever leave coaching, you want to be on your own terms. You don't want to have to be fired for it. You want to be able to walk away from your team. And I will be on the first flight as soon as they say that I could come back, and I'm hoping for a call today from the school district.
Would you do it the same way? Would you pray the same way? Would you change anything based on what's happened over the last few years?
Well, that's a great question, because the way it all started was just by myself. It was a moment between me and God, and the kids started joining. And just to alleviate all that, that's never what it was about. So only thing I would do different is it would go back to the way it was at the very beginning. It would be a private prayer and me thanking God for what those guys just did on the football field.
I'm also curious, have you heard from, this case obviously has just grown in across the country. You've likely heard from a lot of people waiting for this decision today. Have you heard from other school districts, locally or otherwise, that have been trying to recruit you?
No, I haven't heard from anybody. I know the West Coast is just waking up this morning and to the news, and it took me at least 2 hours to even realize that, oh my gosh, this is actually a win and we can move forward. So I'm going to let everybody else process it. And, you know, wherever I'm supposed to be, I'm going to go.
And what's next for you?
Today is the only one I could go through is thanking everybody for supporting me and being here with me this whole entire, it's been a long fight and everybody's been waiting for it. It's just a great win for all of America.
This is Joe Kennedy joining us live this morning, just 2 hours after the Supreme Court ruled in his favor, 6-3, protecting his First Amendment rights to pray as a football coach. We will wait to see what happens next. Thank you so much for joining us and giving us your perspective on this day. It's been a long wait for this decision. Would you agree?
It has. It's been a very long one, and I'm glad that you guys got it reported. I really appreciate you spreading the news.
Well, we hope that you'll stick around and chat with us throughout the day as we process this decision. Thanks so much for your time today.
Absolutely.
All right.